Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where I talk about all the goals scored in the Premier League. Now, normally I watch most of the games and I flick through them on the, on the Saturday and Sunday. But tonight I went down the pub and I watched the England rugby. Don't talk about the score. Just as you have a bit of a break up on what's going on. So if there's a bit of slurry in me wordies, it's because Cash has had about 4 pints. And that's what went on this evening. Because I didn't think there'd be any upsets or many major controversies to talk about in the Premier League. And then all of a sudden, Man United against Fulham happened, and that's what we're going to talk about. So there's a couple of things we want to talk about in this first goal. So let me make an observation straight here from the corner coming in. We have a player on the post. And I'm always an advocate for players on the post, but this one here is redundant. If anyone knows or listens to my channel, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, because the keeper he's overstepped the mid mark right there. There's the mid mark. So the keeper doesn't need somebody on this post. He needs somebody on this post because he's over committed to the front post, which is absolutely fine. So he needs somebody on the back post to cover that. Apparently, he's covered the front post as well as the goalkeeper because stupid levels. Now, this is more concerning. When the ball breaks here in the box, let's see if we can play this forward. So he's completely unmarked, this Fulham guy right here. Not sure of his name. You guys will know. I don't. I generally don't get into which footballer is which and who is who. I judge them on what I see, not what talent you think they have because they played a couple of good games. I judge them exactly how I see them. Now, here's the problem. He is completely and utterly unmarked. So when he has that first touch, you're going, well, that's too easy. No, honestly, his first touch is awful. He's hit the ball, trying to score a goal. He's hit his own player, and it's just terrible. However, because of the lack of marking, and this is what's even more concerning, you can see this United player here. It's probably rat face, running away, trying to start a counter-attack for no reason, instead of dealing with the situation that's actually going on, which again is lack of discipline and lack of understanding what's really going on in the game. If you're one of those players in your team, you're a forward or a striker like I was, and you're trying to get forward before you have security of the ball, your defenders have got it or your goalkeeper's got it in hand, you are the problem. You still need to do your job defensively from that corner, and Ratface right there isn't doing it. Is he the problem? Yeah, probably, because he's the closest one to the player, except for this guy who's probably Rafael Varane. And when it drops to a Fulham player. Oh, sorry, it's not Ratface. Number 2, whoever number 2 is it Delalo, whoever it is, Bush, and it's rifled into the goal. I mean, that's a great strike. It's fired in. Anana's rubbish in the goal, but I don't think it's his fault. But that could all be avoided by decent marking in the first place. And what I want you to watch is this guy, Kobe Mainoo, right here. Kobe Mainoo has been bigged up by all the Man United supporters doing like, oh, he's brilliant, he's fantastic. No, he's not. He's okay. And this is one thing that players and fans get wrong. They immediately associate players on different levels that they're not. And you hear this especially on fan ratings. Fan ratings start at 6. No, they don't. The average score out of 10 is 5. The average of 10 is 5. It's not 6, it's 5. So that's where you start every player at 5. Okay players are between 5 and 6. Good players are between sort of 6 and 8. And then you get form that makes you between a 7 and 8. And world-class players are between 9 and 10. Kobe Mainoo is a good 5. But Man United is so poor, they think that's a solid thing. And is he good for a young'un? Yes. But let's see where he is in 3 years' time. Because there's been many a good player, young, come in to Man United who can't wear that shirt because the weight of it is too big. We don't know if that's going to be the case for this kiddie, because he's okay. He's a good, solid player, but he's only okay. So ranting and raving about how good this kid is just Man United nonsense. Don't listen to it, because we'll see where he is in 3 years, and then we can go, oh yeah, he's a good player. Yeah, he really is a good player. Don't jump into the hype straight away. Let's get on to the next goal. In true Cash fashion, if you're new to the channel, this is what I do quite regularly. I find another angle of something I want to show you. This is the goal scorer here, and this is how unmarked he is, with all these other guys doing a thing, and no one is picking up this guy right here. No one. Which is pretty shocking. So here's the D, and if you know Cash, your channel, and you know how much he talks about the D, you always want somebody around the D. Because what ends up happening around the D is, if you had a Man United player here, he would have spotted that this player is free and tracked him. Nobody did, and that's why they've ended up getting a goal scored. Look how free run Oh, it's just awful. It's just awful defending. And quite frankly, it's from a set piece. You've got two people marking one here. I don't know what Luke Shaw's doing back here. Everything is pretty much shocking. Rashford, who are you marking? Ratface is hugging the post, which he shouldn't have been. He should be over here on this post. And the reason he should be on this post, as I said previously, is because if that's the centre of the goal, your keeper's got the front, you cover the back, job done. Yeah, you're doing nothing there, Ratface. Here we are on the United's goal. It's from the corner. Play's broken down. Ratface has got the ball back. He's beaten his player 1v1 there. It's quite convincingly. And honestly, Ratface isn't a midfielder. People think he is. He's just not. He's what we would class as a luxury midfielder because he doesn't track back. He doesn't tackle. He doesn't do interceptions. He can pass, yeah. He can shoot, yeah. He can be creative, yeah. But that's not what a midfielder is. He's all those things. Passing, tackling, all intertwined. And if he, as soon as those other people aren't doing jobs like Casemiro and defending for him correctly, you need to have that other midfielder doing that. He wouldn't get in the Man City midfield. He wouldn't get in the Arsenal midfield. He wouldn't get even in the Newcastle midfield because he does not work hard enough for the team, which is shocking. But let's have a look. This guy's going to score here. It's Harry Maguire. He's awful at the defending, but he's not bad at scoring the goals every now and again. He's actually kind of not marked, but marked. And Fulham kind of switch off here. Watch this. As this ball comes in, Bosch, not bad, blinds the keeper, doing a bit of a thing. But the rest of them switch off, and the keeper should catch this ball. If you look at that image right there, you're going, the keeper's going to catch this. And he doesn't. He parries it out, bounces it away, and someone has to get rid of it. Harry Maguire steps in and gets it. He's on his own. Look again. As much as I was ragging on United for not marking in the box, you've got 1-2 players here unmarked. Everybody else is pushed up a little bit too fast. And he gets a tap in. Even Maguire can score that, and he does with ease. Okay, this is what I want to talk about bad defensive headers or players that just have no clue about the football. You've got Harry Maguire. He's your centre-back, and he's winning a header. But he's not winning a header. So winning the header, you go, okay, you've beaten the other player to the header, so you've won it. It's more complicated than that in football. Just because you were the first to the ball and you stopped the other guy getting it doesn't mean you actually won the header. What do you mean, Cass? That's stupid. Yeah, because the ball didn't go to one of your teammates. So what you've done is you've played it to somebody else who's got a bit of pace and power. And what happens is as soon as he's received the ball, you're a centre-back and you're in midfield. Look at how far up you are. 1, 2, 3. You're in midfield. You're done, mate. You're absolutely done. Let's see if that's the point where they exploit. And of course, it's Maguire. And I don't know if you know about this about the guy. He has no pace. Can he pass the ball? Yeah. Can he win the ball in the air? Yeah. Is he okay at reading the game? Yeah. But he's got no pace. So there's difference of playing. If you're a player, playing in your Sunday league, play to your strengths. One of my ex-mentors, ex-pro, used to play in the World. He was a World Cup player. He said this thing to me, and he used to drill it into my head. And before he told me the meaning of it, he said, "Cash, if you can only pass 5 yards, pass 5 yards." He just kept saying it, "Cash, if you can only pass 5 yards, pass 5 yards." I was like, what? And then he turned around and tried to, point it out to me one day. Every time you pass 10 yards, you make a mistake. So just do what you're good at. You pass 5 yards. By the way, that's not what he said to me. He's like, just stop dribbling 2 players. Beat 1 player and pass the ball. That was my mistake. I'd try to beat everybody. But that's the take away you want to do. If you don't have pace, you be up here like Kyle Walker. If that's Kyle Walker, there's no issue. He's going to have the pace to recover this ball. So only do what you can do. You don't have pace. So don't try to intercept the pass in the middle of the field here, because you can't do that because you do not have the pace to recover. Only do what you can do. And he tries to. And all of a sudden, he's done. He's absolutely done. Not only there, and now let's just skip it forward a bit. Look at the difference. Look at the difference in a couple of paces. Harry Maguire's completely been done for pace because he's overcommitted. He should never have been there because he shouldn't have been doing that because that's not what he's good at. He's not a Kyle Walker or John Stones or someone with pace that can recover from that situation, and he shouldn't have been in that situation in the first place. Now, here's the other problem. Harry Maguire has tried to sniff out a problem because his midfield didn't do the right thing. And everyone will rib on Harry Maguire for the mistake, which is his fault. It is 100%. However, it's not really. His midfield should have been doing the job for him in the first place, so he wouldn't have been exposed in that situation. Because if you look, there was Christian Eriksen there, and he should have been the one making the challenge, but he's not, because he's not good enough, and he shouldn't have been in the Man United team. Stop wearing the shirt, you're terrible. And let's just move this forward a little bit, see what goes on. if you know Cash's rules in the Premier League, the second someone puts their hand up being a muppet, telling somebody else what to do, they're going to score. You can see this guy now is completely free. They don't know. And here's the other problem, right? He needs to pressure the ball. If these two guys step forward and pressure the ball, he's offside, he'll be offside. But the whole back four is now out of, sorts. No one knows what's going on. Harry Maguire's their leader, telling him to do something different, and no one knows what to do. Look, Bob finds the guy here. Anana's but honestly, he's too far off his line. You cannot be on your 6-yard box at this point. You need to be 2 steps back. Right? If I need to explain this to you, I'll have to do it in another video when I've had as much beers to drink. But basically, it comes down to your angles and where you are. It's really easy to see if you're doing like a practical coaching session with people on the field. But when you're that far forward, they can beat you really, really easily. Because you can only... All right, so think of it. You can take a step that way or you can take a step that way, okay? That's a bit of a step that way. If you're on the line, you've taken care of one area. However, when you're this far forward, you're opening up the angles behind you. So you're only jumping up to here, but the pace of the ball's going to beat you. So let's watch what. As he's chinked in on his foot, he's done 2 of these players here, and he can just smash it here. Oh, look where Onana is now. He's gone back to his line. So think of his motion. Think of his actions, right? What he's actually done, he's come from his starting position, which was on the 6-yard box. He's moved. The jink has changed his position again, and now he's going backwards again. So every single motion he's doing, he's stopping himself, preparing himself to jump. So his motions are going backwards, so he can't jump left or right or do anything because his motions, his actions are taking him backwards away from the ball. But there we go. I'll see you next time on Cash Yells about Man United being bad. God, stop it, United.